Yo, guys, I hope you're well. So, guys, we got a drop and a collaboration between KNOX HILL and Ren, and it's called Fentanyl. I don't know that much about fentanyl, guys. I'm not going to lie to you. I know it's some kind of an opioid. I know it's taken the States by storm. And I think KNOX has lost either a cousin or family members to fentanyl. So I know this is personal to him. But apart from that, I'm not too sure anything about it. So it'll be interesting for me to find out here at Urb'n Barz what all this news and troubles and worries about fentanyl is. But it's going to be great to see KNOX and Ren collaborate. I remember seeing Ren on Baggage with my man Chris Webby. That was fantastic. And I know both of these guys do one take videos as well. And I know KNOX is a lyrical linguistic acrobat. So let's get to it. Let's just do it.
Conscious rap was vibing, but they said it wasn't selling. So instead it tried, the question was for highs. I guess I get it. But we
So I've got to stop it there straight away, people. So not Ren. KNOX was talking about conscious rappers, and I grew up in an age of conscious hip hop and conscious rappers. I've met a lot of the top conscious rappers in the history of hip hop, people. So I know what it was like at the time, and they weren't getting any shine at all. So it's interesting to see how hip hop has developed over the last 30 years or so, people, more than 30 years. So I know at the time conscious hip hop was going to get to a position where it was big, and the industry crushed it, people. They crushed conscious hip hop. So it's going to be interesting because there are a lot of guys now who are incorporating conscious hip hop into their lyrics, which is great. And there's other people who aren't. Let's put it that way. So let's check out our man KNOX, check out Ren, let's check out Fentanyl.
conscious rap was vibing, but they said it wasn't selling. So instead it tried, the question was for highs. I guess I get it.
I missed that. So he's talking about conscious rap wasn't selling, and then he just dropped in the line about a tribe called Quest. He had a tribe, and there's a tribe called Quest, ATQ. I used to call it a tribe called Quest, which should be ATCQ.
But we sold our De La Souls and reassigned the proper metric.
And that's so true. 3 Foot High and Rising, De La Soul, Pos the News, Mace. Yeah, at that time, hip hop was beginning to become conscious hip hop.
Conscious rap was vibing, but they said it wasn't selling. So instead it tried, the question was for highs. I guess I get it.
So he said, a tribe, question, tribe called Quest. The question, why is conscious hip hop not selling?
But we sold our De La Souls and reassigned the proper metric.
And then we sold our De La Souls. Oh my goodness.
Violent rap survived and Darwinized the prophet zealots. Survival of the fittest. Trade your bars for gems and you'll be shining, that's the realest. In this climate of addiction, style Big Pharma is the realest. Now as long as pills are filling, you ain't really gotta feel the sound. The world is full of juice, so while you floating, you can feel it drown. How many rappers out here missing out? But they sell you with
So that was Ren. Ren was in the colour bits there, wasn't he? So Ren was adding the ad-libs and the backing to our man. And now he's going on from conscious hip-hop, which is talking about how you better yourself, to what we have nowadays where people are doing everything to destroy themselves. So our man, KNOX HILL, is dropping the knowledge there. He's pointing to his brain there, he's dropping the knowledge there, and Ren is backing him up. It's quite interesting to see that KNOX is in the black and the white and Ren is in colour.
this vision and this fear of missing out. The industry will fuck us, so we follow what is trending. Brag about these hollow tips, but it's all hollow tip dependent. I lace my verse with fentanyl and lean into attention.
So you said fentanyl and lean. Lean is another thing. I think, is that our man was into lean as well? I'm not going to say who it is because I can't remember his name. But yeah, so there's so many drugs that are going around people, just destroying people's lives.
Old tags for the mentions, body bags for what they spending while they bragging. We descended from the ground, we all descendants now. Sinners don't sleep in this broken town. Trading their souls for some golden brown.
Golden Brown's heroin, isn't it? Golden Brown. Remember the Stranglers sang that song when I was a little kid at school. Golden Brown is heroin.
Feel the release, come back down. But when I'm coming up, killers on the city streets bagging it up. Crooks and addicts with habits get bought. We living in vain just to end it up. And I My cousin was a pitcher on that curve. He got that scholarship on campus. He's the man. Throwing heat as he was hot as shit, but then he hurt his arm. Senior year, time to prove it. Started taking painkillers.
And I heard about that because a lot of fentanyl is kind of like an opioid, and what it does, it reacts like, is it an analgesic? Is that what they call it? It gets rid of pain. So a lot of people get hooked onto things like opium, fentanyl, all that kind of stuff because it's a painkiller. It takes away the pain. But the thing about that is the more you take it, probably the more you have to take it because your body starts to get used to the limits you're taking. And then you have to take more and more for it. But then a lot of people are just taking things like fentanyl just because it gets rid of the pain, because there's so much pain in their lives. And we're not talking of the physical pain, but we're talking about the pain up there as well, and the pain in there as well. So it takes it away. So I think people say that you have like a euphoric feeling for it. But KNOX HILL there was just talking about his cousin was a pitcher. So it was talking about baseball, but he had an injury, and that's how he got introduced to the effects and the addiction of fentanyl.
So we could play and keep it moving. Scouts watching, couldn't lose him. So he took more and he kept using. For he knew it.
Oh, and this is the problem. He had to keep taking it because he was being watched by scouts, etc., etc. So he had to play through the pain. Because if he was benched for a while, he'd probably lose his opportunity at getting selected and then going on to the big leagues. So going on to like the major leagues from the minor leagues and making the money that obviously comes with it. So there was that aspect of it. So the more he took it, he was able to play, but it wrecked his life completely because he became addicted to
He's
it.
abusing fastballs and two seams. Too clean, but now he's losing weight. Drug test he failed, so they kicked him off the team. He tried to kick the head.
Oh, and then he failed the drug test because you do get randomly tested at times. So in effect, taking the drugs finished his career anyway. What a disaster.
Everybody's mad that he had lost his dreams. He's sad, but he got off the lane. But all it takes is one reminder. In his mind, he couldn't help it. He was trying to finally settle. Midnight, he went outside. He was fighting with his devils. One hit, he told himself, it'll help me through this hell. I know I'm sick and I need help, but one hit, man, what the hell? So he lit it, then he took it to the face. But as the story goes, you know that fentanyl is lace.
I don't know who did the production of this, but the music which is coming on here with those deep kind of bass notes, it's just incredible. And it's just taking the track to another limit. And I love those, I don't even know, they sound like female vocals to me, but they're all the vocals you get like in a horror movie. Ren's voice always sounds to me like there's a touch of Sting in there, people, and that is no diss at all. I love Sting's voice. Ren has got an incredible singing voice, but he always reminds me of singers from way back in the days, people.
Trading their souls for some golden brown. Feel the release, come back down. But when I'm coming up, killers on the city streets, dying it up. Crooks and addicts with happy escape road. We living in vain just to end it all. And I spent it all under Fentanyl. Took my heart, you took my fucking life. Took my pride, you took my mind. Took who I am and turned to vice. Took my fam, I burned the price. And now I stand on murder time. And all my plans have turned to ice. I burn in fire, build this pyre higher. I'm wired in this dopamine, get higher. Still a broken fiend supplier of the hopeless dreams. When it's all smoke, the only rope's the one that chokes. Will they remember me? Take all my memories and light them on this fire. Fire for the crooked dealer, he who package hate. Fire for that greedy villain.
Fire for the crooked dealer, you package hate. Never thought about it in that aspect, people. So yeah, it is what it is.
He who had it laced. Fire for my future, that look on my father's face. My mother's still in tears, my cousin, he's too far away. When they told me to get help, and yes, I tried again. But in the end, we're all just veins. And in the end, it came to veins. And in the end, I died in vain. And in the end,
He said it's in veins, and in the end, I died in vain. So you got the link with the veins and the veins.
Fuck it.
There's kind of 70s sounds in there. I remember things like Hair. Is it Hair? The film, etc., etc. A lot of it sounds like that kind of melodic, that those kind of sounds, people. And he says here the CDC reports that from 1999 to 2021, opioids, including fentanyl, have caused over 500,000 deaths in the US. That is incredible, people. And what I've heard about fentanyl as well is it only takes a couple of milligrams to kill someone. So depending on your body shape, your size, etc., etc., just a couple of milligrams of fentanyl could kill you, and that's probably why so many people have died from these overdoses because these are coming in. I think they come in the form of pills, and a lot of them are not coming from the right sources. So they're not coming from a medical source, if you know what I'm trying to say. So people buy it on the streets, etc., etc. So they mix it with this, that, and everything else, and sometimes they are getting dosages which would just kill them 2 or 3 times over. So this is why we're getting so many deaths of fentanyl in the US, and it's something which is sweeping a lot of the states there. So it's a really serious issue. I think Knox has had maybe 1 or 2 family members who have maybe passed towards it. So this is a very personal story, and it's a very personal issue for Knox himself. So I understand why he's done this, and I actually liked the way that both guys dealt with this song. There wasn't all this fast fire rapping. You don't need it, because when you're really telling a story, and this is the thing that gets me, and this is what I like about the social and the conscious hip hop, is that yeah, you can fire lyrics 100 billion miles per hour, but the message doesn't always get through. Sometimes you need to tell a story, you need to break it down, and you need to be very clear in how you break it down. So with the video itself, that is a really good way to spread the message. But with the lyrically, sometimes you need to break it down in a way which will really sink into people's psyche and sink into their minds. And that's really broken it down, because when he gave the analogy of his cousin being a baseball player, so what he's trying to say is that anyone can become exposed to fentanyl from any which side. So it's not just people who are dibbling and dabbling in drugs. Sometimes it's because maybe you've had a back injury, and then you get prescribed fentanyl through medication, but then what happens is the body becomes immune in some ways to it, so sometimes you have to take more and more to reduce the pain. Other people get introduced to fentanyl because they want to reduce the pain from anything else, from life is really hard for certain people, and the pain is really hard for them, so they take drugs. They may have come to fentanyl from anything, any sort of drugs, whether they're doing cocaine, this, that, and everything else, heroin or something else. They get hooked onto this, and once you're hooked onto it, it's very hard to come off of it. So I think that's the story of this. And basically what the story of this as well is that people need to take more notice of what's going on. And I think, who was the singer who sang with Eminem the last time? I can't remember his name, guys. I'm so sorry. He sang a couple of times with Eminem. Brilliant singer, but I'm certain he has addressed the US. Was it the Senate? He told them about this 2 or 3 years back. What have they done about it? I don't know. Just let me know in the comment section if you know what's been done about it. Did he get any redress from this? I don't know. But it's something to be on our radars, because if it comes here to the UK as well, then, well, it could become catastrophic. So it is a serious issue. So I'm just checking if there's anything else on this video. So in 2023 alone, fentanyl took 74,702 lives. That's crazy. So between, was it 1999 and 2021, I think it was the initial comment, it took 500,000 lives. So literally in 1 year alone, it's taken nearly 100,000 lives. So the issue is increasing, it's getting worse. That is what I'm getting from this anecdote here. In 2023 alone, nearly 75,000 lives have been lost. So if you or someone you know is struggling with mental health or substance use, help is available. Call, I've never heard of this one before, so SAMHSA's, SAMHSA's free national helpline for 24/7 year-round guidance and support. You've got the 1-800-662-HELP, which is the 4357. So if any of you are struggling, people, please reach out. reach out, because it just doesn't affect you yourself, it affects your family members, your friends, and everyone who knows you as well. It's, if you're struggling, please reach out and don't worry about people thinking any worse of you. It's better to be here than to be gone. It's better to be quick than to be dead. So, guys, I'm not going to say too much more about that, but I thought that was a really, really good collaboration between Knox Hill and Ren. A lot of people know Knox as the man who breaks down other people's rhymes, but I've seen Knox a few times on his channel doing his own thing live. He's done lives where he's been rapping, I don't know, for 30 minutes straight kind of thing, etc., etc. So he knows what this game of hip hop's all about. He's been around a long time as well. So I think he's dropped his, is it his third or fourth independent album's come out, or is coming out very shortly. So if it is, please go out and buy it, people. Knox is one of the good ones. He knows hip hop. But the thing I like about Knox, and this is the thing about me, is Knox is a very intelligent person. So I'm a historian. I'm a historian. I'm a follower of the philology of words, meanings, how words come around. And Knox is a historian himself. Knox, I've seen him a few times. He's into the similar sort of things I'm into, whether it's into poetry, whether it's into old people like Shakespeare, this, that, and the third, this, that, and everything else. So Knox knows how to put words and phrases and meanings together, and he knows a lot more about more than just hip hop, which is really important in his life. It's really important to know about what's going around you and how things affect you and how things play out, because in some ways, guys, we are pawns on a chessboard, and sometimes we have no control over our lives at all. I think we like to think we have control over our lives, but we don't. Our lives are controlled in more ways than you can think of. So, yeah, I like Knox. I like Knox. I like what Knox does. I like how Knox presents himself to the public. I like the way Knox gives you a much wider and a broader aspect to what is going on. So he doesn't just break down bars, but he breaks down the meanings and the whys and the wherefores of how those bars have come along and what those bars actually mean. So they're not just punchlines, but sometimes they're much deeper. Sometimes they go into the socio-economic aspects of this world. They go into the historical, the religious kind of stuff, or the theological, if you want to call it, the theological aspect of this world. And everything breaks down, it all comes down. You get to the same place, but from different paths. That's what I'm trying to say. So with the fentanyl, with the drugs, the final destination for some people is the overdose. But the people have got there from different paths. There isn't just one path to anything. There isn't just one path to success, and there isn't just one path to failure. That's what I'm trying to say, people. So just take it as it is. Take it as a warning. If you're in trouble, please reach out for help. And guys, make certain you look after yourselves. You look after each other. It's the weekend, so have a great weekend, but have a safe weekend. And please, if you can, please make please make sure you come back to the next Urb'n Barz reaction, guys. I'm out.